Brother's obsessive girlfriend stalked us after he broke up with her, so we called the cops. My brother's ex-girlfriend, Anna, was always a manipulative liar who enjoyed causing drama and controlling his every move. When my brother came home from her birthday dinner with a bruise on his jaw and a cut on his eyebrow, I knew right away that she had something to do with it. I asked him what had happened, and he responded, "I got into a fight." This made me instantly suspicious because my brother has never been the fighting type. "A fight over what?" I asked. He replied, "Anna," and then disappeared into his room. The following day, as we were driving to my basketball tournament, I brought it up again, pressing him to tell me what had really happened. At first, he avoided the question, but then finally admitted, "Anna likes to make things up. She causes problems on purpose." Eventually, I got the full story from him. The night before at the restaurant, Anna had told my brother that some guy tried to harass her. My brother, being the protective type, confronted the guy, who immediately denied it and said he didn't even know her. Things escalated quickly, and a fight broke out because of Anna's false claims. On the drive back home, Anna suddenly told my brother that he must have misunderstood her and that she hadn't been harassed at all. The constant lying was becoming an increasingly toxic problem, but what came next was far worse than we could have imagined. A few days after the fight, my brother finally had enough and broke up with Anna. At first, she seemed to take it well, but then the phone calls started, dozens of them. She would call him at all hours, leaving voicemails crying or begging to talk, then screaming and blaming him for everything that had gone wrong in her life. We thought it would die down after a few days, but then Anna started showing up everywhere. I would see her car parked outside our house late at night, just sitting there. Once, when I left for work early in the morning, I found her sitting in the car staring at our house. She wasn't even trying to hide anymore. My brother was getting freaked out, but he didn't want to get the police involved. He kept saying she'd eventually stop. Then, one weekend, we went to a family gathering at my aunt's house, an hour away in another town. We thought we'd finally escaped her madness. But while we were eating dinner, we heard tires screech outside. We looked out the window and saw Anna's car parked right in front of the house. She had followed us all the way there. My brother's face went pale, and everyone inside was stunned. She got out of the car and started pounding on the door, screaming my brother's name, demanding to talk. My parents called the police immediately. The cops arrived within minutes and tried to calm her down, but she wouldn't listen. She was hysterical, accusing my brother of destroying her life and threatening to hurt herself if he didn't come out. When the police finally restrained her and took her away, I remember the officers telling us we should file a restraining order. That night, as we drove back home in silence, it hit us all just how far she was willing to go. What started as a controlling relationship had spiraled into something dark and dangerous. My brother was shaken, but he finally realized we couldn't handle this on our own. The next morning, we went to the courthouse and filed a restraining order against her. The following week, my brother received a letter from her, pages long, filled with wild accusations and disturbing confessions. She claimed that if she couldn't have him, no one could. It was clear this wasn't over, and we had to brace ourselves for whatever might come next. Anyways, after everything she did, following us to another town, refusing to leave us alone, and making wild accusations, do you think we made the right decision to call the cops and file a restraining order, or was there another way we could have handled it? Comment down below what you think, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe.